Hello, my name is Kirsten Paaby, and I've been working since many years with sustainable development, way back when we called it Local Agenda 21, all over Norway, but also a lot here in Oslo. So I've been following Oslo's work since many years. The work I have been doing is about disseminating good practices of sustainable development, democratic methods, how to participate, and not the least the importance of sustainable development in our communities. So I know quite a lot of and followed Oslo. So today's speech from my part will be how in Oslo there has been working with educational, cultural and awareness raising programs, how you have raised awareness, caring for both nature and human beings. So this is what my presentation is about. And I remember that Taran in her speech, she referred to the Oslo River Forum. She said, make sure you have an NGO to work together with. And the Oslo River Forum is a civil society initiative and work community that was founded in 2000. And it was founded by people that were passionate about the environment and the rivers. They were former politicians, even from, different spectrums of parties. But what was in common was this awareness around the importance of the rivers in Oslo. And what they have been doing since this whole start and all the years and still do is that they have been supporting the policy and efforts of Oslo municipality in how we can recreating and open the blue-green the rivers, but also how to recreate the blue-green net of rivers in Oslo. Also, they have been contributing to awareness raising and educational programs, and I will give you some examples during my speech. You will hear about that. And not the least, what I think is quite important is that they have been an important watchdog, you might say. So actually, they have been delivering consultation opinions in all planning matters regarding the blue-green policy in Oslo. They have been given professional contributions to urban development projects, and they are coordinating local volunteer-driven working groups to protect the rivers, and they call it the Friends of Aga River, the Friends of. So we have, I think, 11 working groups, and there's also one lake that has a Friends group. And they do a lot of guided tours, like you see here in the slide. It's a beautiful group alongside one of the rivers in Oslo, and not least they also made a tour guide to disseminate and tell about both local citizens but also visitors about the blue-green structures in Oslo. And they're also co-organizer of the annual local cultural light walks alongside rivers, and I will come back to that as well. And point, they're doing a lot of more things, but that was some of the highlights of what they have been doing. As I said, they are actually parallel to municipal plans. They develop their plans and own visions. So they deliver, you might say, policy papers as well to inspire, to press, like I said, being a watchdog. And here you see, I took a screenshot of the latest document they published. It's a vision, a blue-green vision for the city's waterways. And the main target or goals of this excellent comprehensive vision paper is to make recommendations of which priorities should be given to new projects for reopening rivers and streams. Also suggestions for how you can improve the conservation, especially versus housing estate developers, because Oslo is a growing city and there's a big pressure on land. So how to protect the nature and they're giving advice about that. Also, they give very professional, qualified updates regarding the status of the rivers in terms of the waterways, in terms of pollution, in terms of species, etc. And also they give updates about their own work in these volunteer friends groups and the forum. And the target group for this vision paper is all the politicians in the 15 city districts of Oslo, but also the central politicians, and not at least, again, us as residents in Oslo. So that's a way also, it's a political paper, but it's also raising awareness and beautiful and really, you can learn a lot from reading that. And so what is very important, as also Taran said, that this role as a watchdog is very much appreciated from the partners in the municipality. And when the Oslo Forum's 20 years anniversary was celebrated in the town hall, Taran was giving an anniversary speech, and she said, "Thank you for being a stone in the shoe of both the municipality and the developers." So they are in a very important driving force. And as mentioned, they are also giving professional advice, work very professionally in great urban development projects, which have created wonderful local ownership. This is an example. It's called the Bjerkedalen Park. It's been an award-winning blue-green project, which was developed as a part of a big urban regeneration program financed both by the state and the municipality, that really have been working on both social but also green transformation in this Grorud Valley. And it's a story about, I mean, the award-winning result has come to place thanks to a very comprehensive collaboration between city planners, employees in the municipal administration, and not the least local citizens, neighborhood and housing associations, schools and kindergartens, and as I said, Oslo River Forum as a professional driving force. And people it has created people have been proud, people love these areas, which is of great importance. And as I said in my opening of the speech, they are coordinating 11 volunteer-driven working groups that are connected to rivers and streams, and we have one beautiful lake with a fantastic nature. So these friends groups consist of it's only volunteers. It's local people that are interested in nature and outdoor life in all the 15 city districts of Oslo, including neighborhood associations, local historical associations, schools and kindergartens, and local businesses. And what they do, as some examples, is that they arrange guided tours, they do courses, they do webinars, they have each a Facebook group where the members can post pictures of the wonderful trip they did, or now I saw this bird or now I saw they actually realize when there are pollutions, they can look at that. So they join cleanup days. They are, as I said, warning regarding pollution, and not the least, they also, like the forum, really are also watchdog, trying to pressure on the local policy. So here you see a photo of a big demonstration, Let the River Live. And that's one example. It's the Environmental Association Friends of the Akershus River. And as you see here, it's not always beautiful. A lot of rubbish is found. So these clean up, the city days clean up, the river days, you will see what is in the rivers. And this also creates awareness because they publish it, and of course people get shocked and say, wow, is that so? It raises awareness in a, you might say, negative way, but and also what they do is that you see here, both the Oslo Forum but also each of the French groups put up information boards so that when you walk as a citizen, you can go and read about both the river, the history, the birds you will see, the animals. And actually we have, in Oslo has a lot of different species. So we have a quite rich biodiversity that is quite important to take care of and care for. And as I said, they made a wonderful tour guide. Also, it's translated into English. So this is a great tour guide where you have a description of 8 rivers, 3 streams, and the Østensjø Lake, one lake. And what they do is that you can, in the guide, you can see, the map, how to get there, and you can see what you are expected to see. And here you see a photo of one of the Oslo River Forum members handing out this tour guide. So it's wonderful, and it's really popular. And people, I mean, I'm a resident of Oslo and love to follow these tours. Another wonderful program is, which is really focused on education. It's called Adopt a River. And it's created a wonderful, you might say, outdoor classrooms around the rivers of Oslo. So it's a cross-disciplinary project, which invites all schools in Oslo to adopt a part of a water course in their local neighborhood. And as I said, that serves as you can see, here we have small, I'm not sure of the name of this little animal, but really it creates, because it's hands-on, you can feel, you can see, and it's a way of learning not only through your head, but also with your heart and embodiment. So it's a cooperation between the Oslo River Forum, it's the Agency for Education, and the Agency for Water and Wastewater Management, where Taran is working. And today, I think it's over 60 schools taking part in that project. And when you make a very formal and serious agreement with the school, there is an adaptation letter, and you are it's a binding agreement. So what each school commit to is to make the students' experience get out to know the values of nature and culture by being there and studying it, and also to pay attention to plants, animal and cultural heritage. And not the least, also they report about illegal pollution, keep the water course free of garbage. So here you see a wonderful photo that I had permission to use from Oslo River Forum, where you see representatives from Oslo River Forum, local representatives from the local business sector, and the kids that had been cleaning the river as a part of their schoolwork. And again, I love this intergenerational aspect that we can add to that as well. And another arrangement that is has been developed over years. Actually, I think the first local cultural light walk was initiated in 2000 alongside one of the main rivers in Oslo, is the Aker's River. But then it inspired a lot of the other friends groups. So actually, each year in October, you will see wonderful arrangements alongside the rivers in Oslo, in order, again, to raise awareness and caring for life of rivers. So all electric light is out, and then they put out lights, what we call this, you can see it on the photos, these here. So you can actually follow the rivers from where they start, and then alongside you will see performances. It's in cooperation with a lot of different volunteer groups, local business sectors. So when you work past the river, you see suddenly, like you see here, a flame dancer, and people have exhibitions, you can taste food, and it's often also combined with litter picking activities. And I myself, I'm a resident in Oslo. As I said, I live in a wonderful community close to the Alna River and the Black Valley. I will say a little about that next. But I'm singing in a choir. So each October, we're standing there in the dusk and singing. And we love it because it's wonderful to be in this beautiful part. You can see here that It's an old primeval forest, and you can see it's in a quite dense residential area, and it's a pearl of value to have this nature in the middle of the residential area. So we love to stand there and sing, and people pass by, stop up and walk, so you can walk down. And we ourselves, when we have stopped singing, we also make a tour and look at the other, and experiencing listening to the water in the alongside the river. And as also you might remember that there are the three main goals of this strategy on reopening rivers and streams. It's about managing climate change. It's about taking care of the biodiversity, but not the least, and I think also this is what Taran mentioned in her speech, improving the outdoor life and health. And I think that Taran said what she loved the most of this way of working in Oslo municipality is that as resident, you have the nature in your backyard. And this is exactly what I'm experiencing by living very close to this beautiful Black Valley park you see a part of here. They have made a suspension bridge, make a wonderful pathway. So actually also you can be there with a wheelchair. You see here it's primeval forest. There's a lot of red listed species. You can see a lot of different animals you can meet there in the middle of a residential area. And I'm a local green activist here in my neighborhood, and at a local community house we have been arranging what we call green neighborhood cafes, where we try to say what can we do locally to meet the sustainable development goals. And what one of the activities we did once was that we had a wonderful trip in the springtime to this Black Valley that is just a few minutes from where I look now. So the theme of this green neighborhood cafe was of course see again the river and experience the Black Valley, but also what can you harvest of wild things growing in this area. So you can it's so rich in terms of plants, animals, species, other different species. And actually, yesterday I was sitting and looking at that suspension bridge in a sauna, local sauna. So a lot of beautiful activities is arranged, connected to this park, and it's said that after it opened, and you see it especially during the COVID time, these areas was of great importance when people have been sitting inside and you could go out and experience the nature. So there was a user survey made that indicate that around 30,000 visitors are coming in this park during a year. And it indicates that the reasons for being the park has multifunctional purposes, such as experience nature and silence. It's actually one of Oslo's 14 silent zones. It's recreation, it's to get inspiration, experience the rush of history, because this is where the sauna was, where I was yesterday. There also an old factory for So there's a lot of old factories around these rivers. And not also people had said going there, I feel I'm a part of something bigger. And I also read the other day that quote at the Facebook of Alna River Friends that I need no therapy. I just have to take a walk in the Black Valley. And all what I have been presenting here is a clear experience of that you can, instead of thinking in silos, by working holistically, both with climate, biodiversity, and the well-being of people, you can actually meet a lot of the 17 sustainable development goals that are set by the global level. And Oslo municipality has very clearly declared that the 17 sustainable development goals lays as the fundament for all the planning that we are doing that are visible in our municipal plans, etc., like also were presented by Taran. But so specifically what you have heard about here is that it is about good health, the water, sustainable cities where we all can take part, life underwater, life on land, not the least, the importance of making good education, both formal and non-formal. It's about responsible consumption when we see what people throw, for example, these clean up the litter days, and again, the awareness of how we can handle and manage climate action. And I think the most important part is also declared, not only what I see the importance, but also declared as an important issue, is you have to cooperate. You need to create partnerships in order to reach the complex problems we are facing in our societies today. So to sum up, in Oslo they have an urban ecology center, and they have defined that the urban ecology is to understand the connection, the web of the natural and social networks. So it's about connecting human beings, the place where we live, and the nature in new communities, and not the least that while you care for the nature, you also care for the human beings. And we need to take care of this wonderful globe because we have only one. And one also red thread through all what I have presented to you is the importance of participation, so that we as citizens can take part in cooperation and dialogue with the municipality that, as you have heard, is very good also at working across the sectors. So that's some of the important secrets we can report here from Oslo. And if you like, I have references for further reading. Here you can see the link to the tour guide. Also, there's a description of the Elva Environmental Park in English, and not the least, there's a beautiful video made by one that used to work in the Ministry of Environment, where she's taking a lot of the photos that we use in this project, Marianne Jør. But it's a beautiful trip where you visually can see the Alna River, which is one of the rivers, and also where the Black Valley is. So I hope that was inspiring, and you can ask questions after the presentation. So dziękuję, is that what you say in Polish? But anyway, thank you very much and good luck with your work.